just were entertained by a dance-off in here. I literally just saw a little bit of it, and it scared the hell out of me. I won't be doing that. Yet. What is going on over here? Is this like a toy drive? Is this... What is this? Okay. No? No? Well, now I have to. I'm a little nervous, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't... That's a lot more difficult than it looks. So ridiculous. I'm scooting up here. I'm scooting up here. Is this all right? Is this all right? Can you still see me? Roma. All right, well, it's good to be back. It's nice to see some familiar faces. Nice to see some new faces. Who here has never been to... Seriously? You're all in the back. It's like you just keep graduating closer to the front. Well, all right. No, we've got some questions, so I'll get right to it. Let's start over here. How are you?
I'm fine.
Good. Hello.
My first question. Dean wants to go to the beach with Sam. Do you want to go to the beach with Jared someday?
No. Have you seen him without a shirt? What's that?
Why not?
No, I'm kidding. I mean, I think we have been to the beach. Yeah, we've been there all the time. Yes. Well, here's the good news. If Sam and Dean get to go to the beach, so do Jared and Jensen. This is why we want them to go to the beach and get some relaxation. Yeah, that's probably not going to happen. That's probably something you can ask Bob Singer when he's on stage, because he's much more responsible for where the story goes and that kind of stuff. And I constantly ask him, you know, when do we get to take a vacation? When do the guys go? You know, when is that going to happen? And he just goes, no. But who knows? There's always season 11. Sand in my toes. Thank you. Hi.
Hi. First of all, I'd like to say I think I'm speaking on behalf of everyone here if I say that we're really sorry that Jared couldn't come, and we really miss him, and we would like to send him all of our love and to tell him to always keep fighting.
Yes. Just a quick update. He is home, he is resting, and he's with the family, and everything is good, and it's, so he's good. He's good. Sends his love.
So the question is, can you spoil us a little something from this year's gag reel?
You know what, I just had it sent to me late last night, and I have not watched it. Because they have to send it for our approval, just in case there's something outrageously, you know, embarrassing that, which of course it all is. And of course we always approve it for some reason, because we don't care. We don't get embarrassed that easy. So, so I haven't watched, I don't know what it looks like yet. Maybe I'll try to watch it at lunch, and then I'll share later. Yeah. Or maybe I'll just like upload it and we'll just all watch it together. I would so get fired if I did that. Kidding, I'm kidding.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Hi.
Hi. Well, actually, I wanted to ask you about the wine that you and Jared have together, but then I gave it a second thought, and no matter if it sounds cheesy, but as I told you this morning, if my best friend were be sick, I'd like to be with her. If I was celebrating my wedding anniversary, I'd like to be with my husband. Or if it was my husband's birthday, I would like to be with him. And you are at France with us. So, I mean, we're grateful for that. You did so much to us that the least we can do is to say thank you in return. I mean, it's not just a show, it's kind of family. So, just thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. It's yeah, sure. Of course, if your friend, if your friend's not feeling well, you want to be there and you want to support that, and he knows I'm there. And my wife, thank God, she's very understanding, and she's extremely supportive of this family, and she's like. Thank you very much. And she knows that this is very important as well. And she's like, listen, we can celebrate when you get back. You go and you give those people a great time and give them my love and give them your love and all. These are words from her. So it's really good, and thank you for recognizing that, because it's hard to be away from your family, it's hard to be away from your friends, and especially during times of celebration or times of need. But to be honest, I'm with family, so I'm happy. Thank you. Hi.
But I also wanted to say that I read Jared's Twitter and I am really worried about him right now, and I love him, I guess we all do so. And also I want to thank you about your and Jared always fighting company, because it's really important for people who are going through some hard situation like depression, for example. And so my question is, what can you say for people who are fighting some really hard situation right now?
3 words, always keep fighting.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Love you.
And serious, this is, even if you think you're alone, even if you think that, that there's no one else to listen to, I disagree. You're not alone. That was 3 of the best words I think Jared decided to come up with, and I think they really hold a lot of weight. So keep up the fight. Okay? Yeah. Hi there.
Hello. So we know what Dean thinks about John as a parent, but what do you think about him and his behavior?
About John and his behavior?
Yes, as a parent.
Well, he's a little unorthodox. Obviously, Sam and Dean weren't raised in the traditional sense. But I think as for John as a parent, everybody has a different experience growing up. Everybody has a different experience with parents or a parent or no parents or whatever your situation is. That is your childhood. That's the way that's the road that you took. And I don't really think there's a right or a wrong, in my opinion. I think that if you've made it this far, then something's gone right in your life, whatever it may be. So as far as John goes, he showed his sons how to survive. And I think that that's probably the most important thing that he gave them. And I think if a parent can teach their kid how to survive and survive properly in whatever aspect of life, then that's a good parental thing. Obviously, a lot of us don't actually have to fight ghosts and demons and angels, and we're not actually dealing with that physically in real life, but we might be dealing with that metaphorically. And if your parent has taught you how to survive, or if a friend has helped teach you how to survive, then I think that's good mentoring. And I think John, in that regard, was a good mentor to his two children. Like I said, it was a little odd at times in the methods that he used, but he got the job done, and I think Sam and Dean are better for it. So,
Thank you.
thank you. Hi.
Hi. So in the past year, we've gotten to see a whole lot more of you since you joined Twitter and Facebook.
I apologize.
I know, it's highly appreciated. But I was just wondering if your perception of fans and fandom has changed at all since you joined?
I don't get that.
Shut up, Krista.
I'm gonna deal with that later. I would say that my perception, I don't know if that's the right word, but my relationship, I guess, with the fandom, I think it has changed over the past 2 years. And I've had some people point that out to me, and I think that there is a stronger, more emotional connection that I have that I don't think I allowed myself to have in the past.
You do seem a whole lot more comfortable at conventions now than you did before.
Yeah, I think there was a sense of I needed to kind of protect myself emotionally from allowing so many people in, which I think that there's a lot of people that have that kind of defense mechanism, and not that I needed to have a defense, but I think it was just something that was a part of the fabric of who I am, and I think a lot of it had to do with me just kind of growing up and me getting a little bit more comfortable and me kind of maturing as an adult, and I think a lot of it also had to do with the birth of my daughter. I think that tapped into an emotion and a love that helped me open myself up a lot more, and I'm very grateful for that, because now I get to hug everybody and really feel that love, and I don't think I let myself feel it before. So I think that's I think it's a very good thing, and I'm thank you for saying the same.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
So, life is an uninterrupted sequence of events that lead us to death, no matter who we are or what we've done. So my question is, in your opinion, what is really worth living for, given all the grief we have to endure in life?
What is worth living for?
Yes.
What happened to questions about Dean?
Sorry.
No, look, that's a very easy question to answer, and it's also a very difficult question to answer. In my opinion, I think that there is that life itself is worth living for. And I think that if you're not living the life that you want, then you fight to achieve that life. And when you are allowing yourself to open up like that, like we just talked about, it's amazing what can come in, and stuff that you maybe don't even expect. And I think that there's no one thing that you should be living for. I think it's the journey that is life that you should be living for. Hi there.
I have a question about Dean.
I'm ready.
I thought you might be. I don't know if you've watched the latest episode, so I don't want to spoil it, but there's a particular scene in it.
Spoiler alert. She's covering her ears.
The fight scene between Dean and Cass and the way it was filmed. My question is, it seemed to mirror like a reverse of the crypt scene, or what they call the crypt scene in season 9. Was that on the page? Was that the director's interpretation? Was that something you and Misha worked out?
No.
Are we seeing things?
You maybe seeing things. I think it was a happy accident. I think that the way that we choreographed that particular fight scene just kind of lent itself to feel like that same that previous fight. Although that really wasn't more of a fight. That was just kind of Cass
Beating the shit out of
pummeling Dean. Yeah. But I think there was a similar aspect, and that'd be an interesting question again for Bob if that was talked about in the writing room, because it wasn't written on the page and it certainly wasn't conveyed to us that that's what they were going for. But it may have been the inspiration that was needed to write that scene. That being said, that was, it was a very emotionally similar scene, but I would say that the choreography was obviously a little different, and there wasn't the on the knees, pleading him to stop and that kind of thing. Although he was pretty beaten up and asking me to stop. But did you all think that at that shot was there a collective?
Didn't you hear it?
I might have. Yeah. I remember we were shooting it, Misha and I were like, oh, they are not gonna like this. They're gonna be so mad at me. But that was a really, I really liked that fight scene for some reason, just because it was really raw. In fact, there was at one point when Dean was kind of slamming his face into the table. He was all the way up on the table, and one of the takes we used stunt doubles, except Todd, my stunt double, he was like, dude, you can do this. It's really just Misha's stunt double that's getting the... And I'm like, I'll do it. So it took Misha's stunt double, who was a different guy that day, and I'm blanking on his name, so forgive me. But he went in, and so I threw him against the table and started slamming his face, and he was all the way up onto the table, like his whole body, like up to his thighs, were up on the table. And when I pull him off, I literally grabbed the back of his belt and yanked him completely in the air, and he went wham and hit the ground. And I was like, wow. That felt pretty good. Not gonna lie. But to literally just throw a man to the ground with full force is not something that many people get to do often, and I rather enjoyed it. And of course he popped up and he was like, oh, I'm good. These stunt guys are crazy. But yeah, that's a really good observation, and I'll have to ask Bob about that, if that particular fight scene was inspired by the crypt scene, as you call it.
We've kind of missed Dean and Cass being in the same room together this season, but that was probably a little more violent than what we wanted, but thank you anyway.
Hey, yeah, you asked for it. You wanted some more, Cass and Dean stuff, so there you go. Hi there.
I'm worried about Sam right now, and I wanted to ask you, if you as Jensen could talk to Sam right now, what would you say to him?
If Jensen could talk to the character of Sam, I'd probably say tread more lightly, but don't give up on your brother. Hi.
Hi. Because I love horses, I was wondering if you're still doing horseback riding, and if not, when was the last time you did?
Honestly, I think the last time I was on a horse was when we shot Frontierland. And if you watch the show, the episode, I was never on a horse, but they had horses there. Jared got to ride the horse. Of course, I think he did it backwards. But during lunch that day of filming, I asked. During lunch that day, during the day of filming, I asked the horse wrangler if I could take the horse out on a ride, and so he let me. I think that was the last time. So no, I don't get to ride as much as I would like to. But yeah, one of these days.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Hi.
Hi, Jensen. So
Hi.
my question is, so over the seasons, over the time of few seasons, we saw a lot of forms of Dean, good and bad also. But my ultimate favorite is Future Dean, because he was so great and amazing, because he was Dean, but not kind of, but evil. So I just want to ask, what was it like for you to shoot that episode? And was it challenging, and how did you shoot it? Did you first shoot the 09 season and then the 2015 season, or all together? So how was that?
Oh, I see. Yeah, that was very challenging, and that was one of the more challenging episodes I've done, simply because I was playing a version of Dean that was present and a version of Dean that was a hypothetical 5-year in the future glimpse. So they were going to be very similar, but also there was an obvious difference. And I agree, I liked that version that they let me play on that one. And as far as who did we shoot first, it kind of really depended on the cameras. You know, sometimes we had to shoot facing a certain direction due to light, and you know, if we're shooting out of a window, or if we're shooting inside looking out towards a window, then we need to shoot the windows first before the sun goes down, because we can always turn around and shoot backwards and emulate the sun and fake it, even though the sun's down. So sometimes we had to shoot present Dean and shoot future Dean last, or vice versa. That being said, they were both very difficult. Didn't matter which one we started with. And I felt the I guess the most bad for Todd, who is my stunt double. I asked that he would play whichever one I wasn't playing at the time. And I'll never forget, after doing like one big scene with him, it was a scene where we have a conversation for the first time over the table and pass a drink to each other. And I remember Todd saying, "Can you just throw me through a window, or can I get just hit by a car? I don't want to say the dialogue anymore." The poor guy, I don't think he's ever recovered from that. Which is funny, because this is a guy who just recently fell higher than his ceiling and fell straight down and missed the pad and shattered his collarbone, and also was knocked out for 3 minutes, which is a really, really, really long time. And he spent a while in the hospital, and he was out for about 4 or 5 months. And he's like, "Oh, I'd rather do that again than that scene that we did in season 4." Yeah, so that was a fun episode. but for me, not for him.
Thank you, I love you.
Thank you. Hi.